Well, hello! And it's time for episode 23, I believe, in the Condescending Evangelist. Try to make this a short video. Um, I just want to talk really about something. Um, I think I have a concern about artificial intelligence, AI. And I'll talk about a couple of my concerns. Well, when I have a bachelor's of science degree in technology, and one of the things that stuck with me, all the things that really stuck with me from all the years in school that I studied technology, was one of the professors I had said this, and it stuck with me. With every advancement in technology, there's a loss that occurs, basically. Well, I see that with artificial intelligence. As artificial intelligence advances, we lose a little bit of human intelligence, I think. And that's what I see playing out in real time. I can go over a plethora of examples, but I'll just get it's hard to even I'll give one example of how I know where civilization is in trouble. AI chat bots. Okay. Knowing the type of person I am, I'm glad I'm not younger when some of this stuff came around. Because, well, I had an issue. Um, I don't want to get into it. It's kind of embarrassing. But, you know, I only can imagine having access to these. I don't go on any of these, but I can only imagine if I was younger and more naive, less wise, let's just say. I'm glad I'm older and wiser. Uh, if I try to interact with, that's one of the things I'm seeing. You know, I see these ads on these pop-up ads every now and then, and I'm telling you, we're on the brink of the fall of civilization. Once this starts to become more mainstream, and it's a concern I have for civilization. Um, you know, I'm just saying, I'm just being honest, I'm being real. And I'm telling you, every advancement of artificial intelligence, we're going to lose a little bit of human intelligence. And you can already see it. I mean, it's like we watch some of these AI videos, and some people think they're great. I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna. This is, it might seem all fun and games and all that, but gets in the wrong hands, can be manipulated by governments, foreign entities, foreign enemies, domestic enemies. That's why I'm like, I I'm concerned. But I mean, is it prophetic? Probably. I think there's clues when you read Revelation about the mark of the beast and you know giving image, giving. Well, what is the scripture? Let me go. I think it's Revelation. Is it Revelation 13? Where is it? There it is. Revelation 13. Let me look it up. It might actually be in the book of Daniel, the scripture I'm thinking of. About the image of the beast, about the image of I honestly I can't I have to relook at it. I didn't prepare, so I just felt like talking about this because I do think it's a problem. Going to be a bigger problem, and everything that's talked about with Trump and Epstein, all that stuff, there may be more going on than people realize. Because maybe Trump is seeing like all kinds of AI videos with him, and he has to do like a disinfo campaign. I don't know. I'm speculating. I try, a lot of what I'm hearing Trump say, and then there's information about him actually releasing some files. So it's like, who knows what's really going on. But with regards to AI, look, Elon Musk is partially responsible. But see, he is someone who's on record saying we summon up the demon with artificial intelligence. I'm just saying, someone who's uses AI technology for his companies. And all I'm saying is, we need, I don't know how to, all you could do is try to self-regulate it. That's all I could say is stay away from those chat bots. I'm telling you, I see these ads. I'm like, I mean, they look like cartoons in most cases, but I mean, I see where this is going. And I'm like, no, stay away from me. Keep away. That's all I'm saying. And so, like I said, with every advancement in our artificial intelligence, I think we're going to lose a little bit of human intelligence. I'm seeing evidence of it. I follow X. I see what people are putting out there. Let me share one thing. It's kind of humorous, but I think it's like some people might take this serious, but I'm like, I don't know. It's a concern I have. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. See, I think someone's playing a gag here a little bit, but some people might take this serious. Sooner or later, the Jews will finally cross the borderline of American patience, as they have done all throughout their history. When they do, the reaction of the American white man will make the Jews get on their knees and pray for Adolf Hitler to save them. George Lincoln Rockwell. Now, That seems like a joke to me. But, I honestly, 100%, I'm not sure. I laughed when I read that. I was like, really? But, some people will take it serious. And I had a comment. What my comment on it was, this is why after Trump, when the Dems get back in charge, they're going to put us all in re-education camps. A little bit of tongue in cheek, but I'm not certain that they wouldn't do that. To some of us who make fun of stuff like that, and they were like, "That's serious." I'm like, man, that reads like a joke to me. But like I said, some of the liberals, you know, they have no sense of humor. Um, but at the same time, there's some people who probably actually say, yeah. That's why I say technology is not necessarily making us smarter. In a lot of ways, it's making us dumber. And AI, artificial intelligence, I think is going to cause us to be even dumber. This is my opinion. It's like the stupidity chart on the graph. It's going up exponentially. I think every advancement in artificial intelligence. So I didn't, honestly, I think I'm just gonna stop the video because it's like I don't have much else to say. There's so much going on this week, with Trump, Epstein fiasco nonsense, and there's other stuff that's resurfacing from. I'm like, I'm steering clear of that. That they're digging up some old stuff. I think maybe this is why Trump was going on a rampage on social media regarding the Epstein stuff, because there's other video that's starting to resurface about him being a judge for this modeling thing, where a lot of the girls were models below minor age, 14, as young as 14. And it's like, okay, part of the issue is Trump is of that generation where, how do you say this? Remember what Trump Trump is quoted as saying something about Epstein's like he likes them young, that kind of thing. Trump is kind of a creepo when you really dig into it. But I mean, read the story of humanity. Okay, I mean, Trump is kind of an old guard blue blood. I mean, let's say it as it is. That's just what it is. And so he is kind of a creepo. And see, I think I hung around people who are kind of like that. But what do you do? Man is full of sin. Okay, at the end of the day. Okay, mankind. It's men and women. Women have a hard time acknowledging their own wrongdoings. Something I can't figure out. They expect men to just easily admit fault in everything. But when does a woman actually admit fault in anything? I mean, men have to admit fault in everything. Women never admit fault in anything. I'm sorry if you think I'm a crusty old white guy. But that's the reality. Uh, and so Donald Trump represents that old blue blood creepo, you know, um, old guard blue blood creepo. That's Donald Trump, like it or not. And so I still voted for him. I'd vote for him anyways. Why? I I don't want. He's an old guard white. He's an old guard, old white guy, blue blood. You say, well, so is Biden, but at least Donald Trump can put a sentence together. So I'd still vote for him over Biden, over Harris, another dingbat. Okay, she represents the target of the old guard, white, blue blood. Say, well, she's black. No, she's that type. It doesn't matter. You know, it's like when I say old blue blood, skin color doesn't matter because Willie Brown. Hello, that's who she is. She's the counter part for the old guard blue blood. I shouldn't say just white guy because there's enough old guard black guys too. They're also blue bloods, you know. Blue blood, you know. It's these old guard blue bloods that, quite frankly, like I said, Kamala was that person at one time. You know, she was the counterpart for the old guard blue blood. And so Bill Clinton is another one. George Bush is the son of one of them. Although George Sr., something else is going on with him. It's hard to explain. But it's a representation of fallen humanity. That's what we have. Artificial intelligence, I think, was created because I think the elites can see that humanity's getting dumber. But they're going to make humanity even dumber by implementing more and more of it. That's just how I see it. But that's probably, you know, if I could look up the scripture I was trying to find. I think it is biblical at the end of the day. So, that's all for now. Shabbat Shalom.
Goodbye, Toledo.